Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us here today. For those that are joining us for the first time, my name is Carlos Hernandez. I am one of the client service representatives here at the Retirement Group. And as well, the Retirement Group is an independent financial advising firm. We are not a part of Kaiser Permanente, but unlike most financial planning firms out there, we specifically work with KP employees. What that means is when we help our clients prepare for their retirement, we're going to be well versed in how their plans actually work, such as their pension, their 401k, their TSA, and even their retiree medical benefits. All things that we think we need to know in order to give you prudent advice and help you build a comprehensive retirement plan, which is something that we actually provide at a complimentary basis for those that are on the call here today, and which we'll cover a little bit more of that towards the end of the presentation. Now, for our agenda today, we're going to be talking to Kaiser employees about considerations they need to take before retirement. So for those that are looking to retire in the near future, you have some sort of retirement checklist to guide you along the way. Now, first off, one must be comfortable and emotionally prepared to retire. Being financially ready is just not enough. It's the mental aspect of knowing that you will no longer be employed and that you'll no longer have an income stream coming in. And decreasing in volatility and your risk is going to be another big aspect, making sure that you place your hard-earned money in products that will work for you, not against you, and making sure that those funds outlast you in retirement, which goes with increasing your retirement income to make sure you have enough money coming in to meet all of your expenses going out. And considering inflation for those expenses is also going to be huge. With that being said, making sure that you're decreasing the tax burden and minimalizing penalties, whether that's from your pension or your withdrawals from your accounts, are also going to be important. And lastly, having an investment philosophy that can help you and guide you along the way on making critical investment decisions that are not based on just emotions. Now, understanding key changes will also help you prepare for retirement, which we summed up some of the top 3 changes that are currently affecting Kaiser employees going into retirement. And understanding these changes will help you make better retirement planning decisions. Before we get into these changes, it's best to understand your different sources of income that you have set aside for retirement. Now, understanding these different pools of money that you have set aside will also have an impact in your retirement planning process. For most people on the call here today, the majority of your income sources for retirement will come out of these 4 buckets here. Your pension, which is what is given to you by Kaiser. You don't contribute to this portion of income. It's a percentage of your salary based on how long you've worked at the company. Your 401k is what you've been putting away in your company's savings retirement plan, in which Kaiser has also been matching you along the way. Social Security is going to be a huge part of your income stream for retirement. Knowing when to take it, whether to take it early or to defer it, understanding longevity and how that comes into play, all of those things will have big impacts to your retirement planning. As well, this is something that we'd be more than happy to help you analyze, whether to take in consideration longevity, whether to defer your pension or defer your Social Security, or to take it early. This is something that we'd be more than happy to help you analyze and get a better grasp and understanding. And lastly, real estate. Whether that's rental property, producing passive income, or taking home equity to fund your retirement. Making sure you understand these different sources of income will play to your advantage. Now, going back to the changes, understanding how your pension works is going to be key. As most of you are aware on this call, Kaiser is made up of different unions and entities. Whether you're a nurse, a physician, a tech, or a salaried employee, all those things will mean that you will have subtle differences in your pension plan. And understanding those differences is going to be key. For most of you that are not aware of these different changes between the plans, it would be best for you to connect with a retirement specialist, whether it's somebody here at the retirement group or an outside advisor that knows the Kaiser plan, to make sure you are getting well informed in how the plan works and make sure that you're taking advantage of those little nuances between the plan. Now, one of the biggest changes that has been impacting Kaiser employees that are looking to retire is interest rates. And understanding how interest rates affect your pension is also going to play a huge role in your pension planning process. And the rule of thumb is that for every 1% of interest rates that goes up, it translates to about an average of a 10% decrease to that pension lump sum. And knowing that Kaiser uses a 2-month look back for their pension interest rate calculations is going to be key in knowing when to retire. And if you see this historical graph here, you could tell as of last year, these interest rates have shot up dramatically. If you look down below, you'll see that December 2021, compared to December 2022, interest rates went up about 2.5%, which theoretically meant that during that time, it was possible that you received a 25% decrease to your pension lump sum due to interest rates. And making sure that you understand how interest rates affect your pension is going to be huge, as well as the current real estate market. Understanding the real estate changes going on is also going to play to your advantage. As house prices are starting to show some stabilization, knowing that there is more demand for houses rather than the number of houses available can give us an insight on what to expect in regards to the housing market. And then as well as inflation, understanding inflation and the changes that are going on with inflation, making sure that you've accounted for inflation in your expenses, in your overall retirement planning. If you have not considered inflation in your expenses, that could definitely have a huge impact in your retirement. It could be, the difference between, running out of money too early or having enough money to leave behind as a legacy to your beneficiaries. If you have not considered inflation in your retirement planning process, please connect with a retirement specialist right away to make sure you're making the right decisions based on the information you have. And lastly, having an investment team that could help you and guide you along the whole process, a team of advisors that knows the plans inside and out and provide more than just general advice. For those with advisors already, ask them, do they know and understand your pension? What about your healthcare benefits? Can they explain it to you? What value do they provide you and your family? Anybody can talk generalities and give you general advice, but can they tell you how to optimize your pension? Can they give you specific advice that is tailored around all of your benefits given to you at Kaiser Permanente? If they cannot, I urge you guys to connect with either myself or somebody from my team that can help you and guide you on what makes the most sense based on your unique situation. And like I said, we do provide a complimentary analysis that would go over your overall retirement outlook to make sure you're making the right choices, whether that's in regards to your pension, your 401k, and even expenses. So I really want to touch base on this statistic you see here. 74% of Americans over the age of 50 do not have a written plan. We just think that is unbelievable and should not even be allowed. As I've mentioned before, please take advantage of the complimentary analysis. We would hate to have you go into retirement without being fully prepared and knowing what to expect. So that concludes our presentation here for today. If you would like to get in contact with myself or anybody from my team and help you and guide you on that complimentary analysis, you can set up some time by either emailing us, calling us, or scanning these QR codes here. And again, I do want to just emphasize that the retirement group is not a part of Kaiser Permanente. Although we've been working with Kaiser Permanente employees for a vast numerous of years, we are not part of Kaiser. We'd still be more than happy to go over your situation, help you get a better grasp on the pension, 401k, and even healthcare benefits. So it looks like we received some incoming questions throughout the presentation. Let's take up a few minutes here to go over some of those questions. So it looks like one of the first questions that came in was, my company offers a lump sum. Why do interest rates affect my pension? That's a great question. It's that correlation between interest rates and specifically the pension lump sum value. And as I mentioned before, the rule of thumb is that for every 1% of interest rates that go up translates to about an average of a 10% decrease to the pension lump sum value. You can think of it as bonds as well. They work relatively the same. So another question that we received is my pension adjusted for inflation? And I'm assuming that is in regards to the annuity options, as most of you are aware that you have numerous annuity options, each one working a little bit different than the other, but ultimately all the pension annuity values that are given to you are not adjusted for inflation. There are many companies out there that provide a cost of living adjustment, also known as a COLA, to their pension amounts. But in regards to Kaiser Permanente's pension annuities, they do not provide a cost of living adjustment. It looks like another question is, if I buy an annuity with a lump sum, is that better than taking the company's annuity? That is a great question as well. It's a question that we've been getting a lot over the past couple months, especially as interest rates are continuing to go up. I can't say whether it's in your best interest to do so, in which it would be best to run a complementary analysis to take in consideration not only the lump sum, the company's annuity, or perhaps taking the company's lump sum and then purchasing an outside annuity that could possibly give you a better payout than the company annuity. And lastly, looks like the last question we received is my lump sum taxed differently than the annuity? That is a great question. And all that really depends on how you're taking that lump sum distribution, whether you're taking it as a cash lump sum and then just depositing it into your checking account, or whether you're rolling it over into your own IRA to defer taxes. All that comes into play, but both would be subject to federal and state income tax. So that looks like that concludes our presentation for today. Again, my name is Carlos Hernandez. I appreciate you guys all tuning in here today, and I look forward to connecting with each and every one of you to make sure you're on track to have a successful retirement. Thank you.